ask ChatGPT, they'll submit 2 pages. They'll submit 2 pages document to you without, without any hard work. According to them, it is just all smart work. So the transformative role, which has already happened here in the education system, let us go ahead and analyze the advantages and disadvantages. Obviously, there are both in the artificial intelligence, which it is utilized in the education system. Just going ahead, as you look at the overview, it goes as introduction and followed by what is artificial intelligence and why are we even using it, and what is the artificial intelligence, how is it being utilized in the education system, and what are all the different kinds or methods or modes of artificial intelligence utilized in the Indian education system will be discussed in detail. And further, we would be discussing on threats and challenges, outcomes, what are all the way forward? How are we supposed to react to the system at present that we have at hand? That will be discussed. And we obviously have concluding remarks for the lecture. Let me go ahead to the introduction. All right. As we have the introduction over here, there are only two elements that we'll be discussing. The first is artificial intelligence, and next is Indian education system. I guess it is not necessary for me to talk so much on Indian education system because the focus is also not on Indian education system because the participants are all esteemed faculty members. You are much aware about what and how an Indian education system functions, and how are they characterized and how are they categorized, right? And let's have a focus on artificial intelligence now. May I know what is artificial intelligence from any of the participants? You can tell me, not necessarily the definition, tell me what is artificial intelligence or any applications that you have come across, or anything that you face day to day life, what your students have submitted using artificial intelligence, or anything related to the meaning of what is artificial intelligence. Can I have from anyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
It supports whatever things that we are doing, or particularly making a documentary, definitely,
True,
for creating
true,
a reports also. At the same
true,
time, it gives you the technique. By the use of such a technology, we can change our language also, the professional also.
true.
Technology supports us now.
True, true, true. That is so nice, ma'am. Thank you so much for the explanation given. It is in our day-to-day life. It supports us very well in whatever way that we are working. Especially now, again, when I talk about AI, that is there are two sides of the coin. One is us, that is all faculty members, and the other side is obviously students that they use. Only if the students start using it, then only we have realized that okay, there are so many applications which can be utilized, because that students are all tech savvy and they have utilized different AI applications for that. So let us understand what is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is not at all a concept which has come in 21st century or 2020 or 2010, or when Sophia was introduced as a first citizen in UAE. Not at all. Sophia was a robot. So it was in 1969. There was a test called as Alan Turing test and Chinese room argument test. These tests are, pioneers for artificial intelligence. There was a question. There is some intelligence, okay? So, say, for example, human intelligence. Dr. Jyoti ma'am has given me some explanation. So, that is her intelligence. I was asking a question. That is my intelligence. Now, there was a question when Alan Turing was testing it. What is called as artificial intelligence? Okay, let us make a computer. Let us try to, input some or program some data in it so that Let it have some artificial intelligence which the humans cannot identify. The best example is, say, ChatGPT. Once as soon as I have spoken to the coordinator, ma'am, for FDP, so I have just typed, in ChatGPT, AI in. I have asked the AI, okay, so AI in Indian education system. It was ready to give me. It was not worth enough, but it was ready to give me some long, essays with all headings and, whatever I have requested, it has come. And I have asked ChatGPT to give me the same in a PPT. It has given me. Now, the problem here is you cannot identify whether that is artificial intelligence or human intelligence, right? That is, you cannot differentiate between what it is because, anyways, as you just see it on the screen, I'm also just pinpointing it. As you see it, it is rule based versus data based. Data based as in, I program the artificial intelligence, that is a robo, with necessary or required data. For example, I would want, say, I'm training a robot. That this is what Google and AI, OpenAI, ChatGPT, Meta, everyone is doing it. They train the robots, but they train the machines based on data and based on rule. They set up certain protocols. Data should be fixed and based on certain rules. So AI is trained in a way with human intelligence. As you look on the screen, on my right hand side, you have um, the founding fathers of artificial intelligence. The first person, John McCarthy, is called as the founding father of, he is a pioneer. Obviously, you also see Marvin Minsky, Claude Shannon, Ray Solomon. All of these persons are founding fathers of McCarthy. I mean, artificial intelligence. They have found these terminology in Dartmouth conference. Though Alan Turing test and Chinese room arguments are, very pioneer to these, founding fathers who have identified the terminology called as artificial intelligence. And, as I have just said it very clearly, an intelligence, say a robo or any machine that is given through data or based on certain protocols that a company gives is called as artificial intelligence. But you will have to be very sure we have not gone into utilizing 100% of artificial intelligence for our day-to-day work. For example, I just said you, I have asked ChatGPT what is AI in India education system. It has given me some irrelevant materials. I can't be using it, right? So it is in the same way. 100 percentage we are not utilizing AI as a whole in our day-to-day life. Okay, so that is fixed, and that is the answer that we have on what is artificial intelligence. Let us move to the next part called as fundamental right to internet. Do we have a fundamental right to internet? Can anyone answer me this, please? Do we have a fundamental right to internet? Have you come across any of the cases? Or is it, can you fight before the court filing under 32 and 226 saying that, no, I have fundamental right to internet and, you cannot, shut down the internet without, or even under 144 CRPC. Can anyone elucidate on it, please?
Yes, yes. Ma'am, when the Article 370 was revoked, and the
Yes, ma'am.
Kashmirians, they were internet was withheld from those people. So perhaps there was a writ petition filed by journalist Anuradha Bhasin, I think, if I'm not wrong. And in that case, the Supreme Court held that internet access is necessary, especially when we live in ICT.
True,
Is
true,
that true,
true.
ma'am?
That's so nice, ma'am. Thank you. That's true. That's true. As you have mentioned, I have mentioned that also in the case. Anuradha Basin versus Union of India. As it was, see, there was a question in Anuradha Basin. The question was invoking 144 CRPC. We all knew about 144 CRPC and, how was it being implemented. But the point here also, Anuradha Basin case that raised was under 144 CRPC is internet right to, or right to internet shutdown is it in the hand given to the in the hands of government? That was the question. Can you do it? See, it is again, you will have to trace back to all right to freedom of speech and expression, right to freedom of media, print media, visual media, digital media questions again under 19(1)(a), which is all implied. It is very explicit that you are trying to stop right to information. And then they have stated it very clearly in Anuradha Basin, right to internet is a fundamental right. That is part of Part 3 of the Indian Constitution. There are many exceptions that they have given that should also be noted. The first is, as obviously we all knew, it is all about the security of the state. It is all about friend relationship with the other countries. It is all about law and order of the society. So, as you all know, the exceptions are so heavy that the government can implement this right to internet shutdown at any time, because that is a tool that they have, like how they have done during emergency, that curtailing right to freedom of print medium and also freedom of media. So that was held in Anuradha Basin versus Union of India. Let us come to our focal point, which is internet and education system. I have spoken to you what is artificial intelligence. You have understood. I have given you examples. um, let us take right to internet over here. Now, in the education system, see, your students should be using artificial intelligence platforms for all of the works that you give, that you assign, except for exams. They should be using all of these things. And we also utilize so many things, in our day-to-day life. For example, I use at least twice or thrice in my class weekly on I use either Kahoot, or I use there are applications, I'll just show you the names are there. I use Kahoot, or I use quizzes.com. That is an AI platform. I feed in the questions. I give the 10 questions. It gives me random, I also give the options. Whereas to each and every student, there are 50 in my class. To each and every 50 students, the order of the options of the answers are also shuffled, right? So I can't be doing it when I issue a hard copy of 10 questions, or when I do it on Google Classroom uploading. So that can't be done. I use an AI platform. Now, students are so engaged well. We call this as adaptive learning. There are upcoming slides, I'll tell you. This is called as adaptive learning. And now the question here is, students learn very well. I teach a concept, then I say that, okay, let's play some quizzes. Here, these the quizzes. Do the code. They'll just scan the code. I'll show it on the screen. They'll scan the code. They'll start giving the answer. Between 3 or 4 questions, there'll be small puzzle game like mathematic, puzzle, and they'll have to solve it in order to move to the next question. That everything I'll finish it in not more than 7 minutes. Okay, not hardly. If it is 5 questions, not more than 3 minutes. I'm utilizing so much time. Now the question here is, it is very useful to me to make a concept understand to the students. It is also very useful and benefit students are beneficiaries here in understanding a concept through artificial intelligence applications. Now the question here is right to internet part of education? Is it mandatory in education? You look at the screen, there's a case in 2019, Fahima Shireen versus State of Kerala. Internet access is crucial for modern education and well included under Article 21(a) of the Indian Constitution. The case, you can read the facts of the case. The facts of the case are, a little, unrelated to our situation right now. But there was a question that, whether right to a student was curtailed utilizing mobile phone, whether right to internet is proportional for right to education. The answer was yes, the court held. Now, pros and cons are to be discussed very well, because it is a part of fundamental right and it has been given rights under the Indian Constitution. Let us move further. The Indian education system and policy initiatives for AI inclusion. See, as look at the quotation that I have given. All India Council for Technical Education, AICTE, has announced 2025 as the year of AI. We are so happy in doing this lecture as well, because maybe probably that should have been the reason behind for all of these, thematic sessions on artificial intelligence. This 2025, why only specifically 2025? Because we have reached, a threshold limit where we have already started utilizing artificial intelligence so much, and yes, we are here. Government has started giving us and started playing very vital role in artificial intelligence in all policy initiatives. Let us look at the first one, Vikshit Bharat 2047. I'm just highlighting it. It has stated very clearly, you all would have come across Vikshit Bharat 2047, which has stated very clearly that inclusive, high quality education system is very important for all kinds of skills, that are to be developed. It is also very important that artificial intelligence should be included. So that's the reason why in all ICSSR and all of the projects which are being asked, they focus more on 2047, Vikshit Bharat's focal points, and that is how AI plays a crucial role. Now, when I say 2047 Vikshit Bharat, I guess our focus should go to the existing or the contemporary system that we have in the education system. India has 1.4 million schools, more than 8.5 million primary and secondary teachers, and we are all in the higher education departments. More than 40 million students enroll in more than 1,000 universities and 42,000 colleges annually. Now, the problem here is we are all either the traditional university or the rising universities like science universities or law universities or technical universities or IIMs, IITs. Except for a few of the universities, all of us have the fixed curriculum. We all have the education delivery models in a very conventional method, and the testing concepts are also very, very conventional. Like we give them paper, they'll have to write for 3 hours, questions and answers, and that has been evaluated, and then yes, their results are announced and they are graduated, right? This is how we did, and this is how we are also making our students do, because that is the existing system and nobody is questioning it. The problem here is, look at NEP 2020. It has stated very clearly that artificial intelligence should be part and parcel of the education system. It has gone to the level of school education saying that they should be trained for AI, there should be coding that should be studied from eighth grade. And they have also stated it very clearly, it should be inclusive education. NEP 2020, obviously, all of us would have attended all FDP's NEP 2020, which stated very clearly that AI should be utilized by the teachers in the education in order to have a balance in the class, because we are no more students have already grown with AI and technology. So we are also supposed to move ahead and grow very well in the giving inclusive education to the students, especially with higher education teachers like us. Moving to the last one, AI for Youth program was started by CBSE recently. I can give you so many examples, like AICTE has stated, has announced 2025 as a year of AI, and it has started talking about how systematic change should be brought in education through artificial intelligence, etc. So these are all the policy initiatives either done by the government themselves or done by the institutions themselves. For example, AICTE or CBSE board, or you have IIMs, IITs, which have recently introduced various system for people to learn. We call them as edtech market, that is education technology market companies. They try to showcase their applications in order the students, to make the students learn very well. That also helps come across various barriers, right? So I hope, let me just summarize what I have said so far. That will be easy for you to go ahead to the technical part of artificial intelligence. See, we understood what is artificial intelligence and how is it utilized in contemporary era. Right to internet is part of fundamental right and included under 21 and 21A of the Indian Constitution. And moving ahead, understanding government initiatives, institution initiatives on giving AI inclusive within the education system that we all have, and their policies or the schemes that have been given. Let me move ahead to this one. See, henceforth, all of the slides will be the different methods, the modes that we utilize to teach artificial intelligence. I will be discussing maybe for the upcoming 4 slides, if I am not wrong, discussing about how artificial intelligence can be utilized in a very proactive manner in a class to make the class very engaging session. There are obviously negative points or the disadvantages, which I'll be discussing along line. I'll also be discussing at the in the challenges part. Okay, if you have any questions, you can stop me right there. I'll give you the answer. Let me move ahead to the personalized learning and teaching method. See, personalized learning and teaching method is so many of us are, or so many parents right now, if we are also parents, or the parents, new parents are expecting us to give. You would have, seen so many parents being seen on social media saying about homeschooling, home education, schooling done by parents, schooling done by whoever is at home, etc. But it is not necessary for them to go to school, and obviously, they'll go whenever required, or they come to the age of 5 or 6. So, for that, Indian education technology market, we call it as edtech market. You see it on the screen. That is edtech market. Had invested so much where that would reach to $29 billion by 2030. And I would also want all of you to look at these three platforms: Byju's, Topper, and Imbibe. Let me just fix to Byju's and Topper. See, I type, for example, I type Anuradha Basin versus Union of India because I want to learn about the case. Byju's has a whole lot of, IAS or UPSC platforms essays. And it also has so many links well within. It says that if you want to learn about Fahima Shirin case, go here. If you want to learn about emergency, go here. So, which means that all of these are different protocols that are being utilized well within artificial intelligence tool. And Byju's Topper Imbibe are trying to give very enormous personalized learning. This is very important because we nowadays we all want customized things, right? Likewise, we all want personalized learnings. So that happened as open source. I go type Byju's, that comes online. It is not necessary for me to pay or something. So personalized learning is very important for all of us teachers. At least we can learn all of these things, but you all should understand one thing very well: whatever is being there on internet is not true. You all knew it already, but to be very more authenticated source, you will have to take the case from SAC online, read it, and then analyze it. Not all of the cases by chat GPT or given the essays or the fact and issue given in Byju's are true. At times, there might be mistakes. We'll have to check it very thoroughly. And let us move to the next form of system, which all the technology companies, the market companies, they utilize, which is intelligent tutoring systems, which is IT, as you just look at it. It gives you instant feedback. This is what I was talking to you about. Say, for example, quizzes, when I use it, that gives instant answers to them. And it also says that you have done 58% lot better than the last class quiz. So, which is instant feedback is what very much required, and all personalized learning learners want it very much. For example, all UPSC learners, our students, or all of us who are learning would be appearing for NET JRF, or would be appearing for any competitive examinations, or to train students, or for any of the research projects. All of these things would be very helpful. Let's move to the second one: Khan Academy India. Khan Academy India is the AI driven insights for individualized support, which is quite in the similar way like Byju's. Vedantu's Wave platform, it utilizes AI to analyze facial expressions and engagement levels in real time. Like, if I ask you a question, if I was in person, I can easily identify whether all of the participants are in a level of understanding, or should I give more explanation, right? That is all what teachers would require. The hard tasks that we have done during online classes, and now that we are doing it, it's a lot better for all of us to see the facial expressions of the students. That is that they are implementing. AI is also inclusive very much of psychology, so they are utilizing facial expressions and engagement levels in real time. There might be, as I was saying, you cannot always discuss with the AI platform like face to face. Say, for example, a just because this lecture is AI, I cannot leave on AI to talk to you for 1 full hour, that you won't understand, or whether it will be teaching to you or giving its inputs only based on its data, right? So that's a problem here. You can't be giving all of the, you know, uh, everything through the artificial intelligence, whereas we will have to give what we call it as, I would want all of you to watch these words, which I will say, which are human in the loop concept. Human in the loop. I want to take some decision. I have asked the chat GPT. I'm not going to take decision relying 200% on chat GPT. I am the human in the loop to take the decision. So human in the loop. AI is here, robots here. You have a human here, you take a decision here, like all of us teachers do. If you have been assigned a very different paper or a subject to teach this semester, we would be like worrying about, how to do, what is the curriculum, how about going, how about, small concepts, how are we supposed to frame, materials, etc. ChatGPT helps you. That's a very ground platform to understand everything, right? But that does not, you cannot download everything from ChatGPT and convey it to the students. We are all human in the loops where we are supposed to analyze and, categorize everything in a very order for your students to learn. My students would be different from your students. That's there. And let me move to the next concept, which is AI tutors and chatbots. AI tutors and chatbots. This one that we have been doing it regularly. Popular got access 24/7. Best example is Chat GPT. I go access even at night saying that, how should I, what is, say, for example, what is cervical cancer? I go type it, I'm not sure about it. What is vaccination? I'm not sure about it. So I go type it. So access 24/7. And it offers topic suggestions and summaries. As I was just saying to you, it gives, say, for example, ChatGPT or Tutor AI. There are applications that I've made. ChatGPT, Tutor AI, POE app. These applications, in conversational learning, not only for us, but it is so much for the students. All of the students get access to the teachers in real time, right? So they can do, conversational learning with the tutors, AI tutors, which are trained artificial intelligence platforms by the edtech companies, or any other companies like ChatGPT, OpenAI, Seek, DeepAI, etc. And as you look at it, NBuddy is an AI bot used by NCERT for early grade students. See, that's what I said. Government initiatives are there, institution initiatives are there. We as institution also frame some policy for plagiarism. Principal ma'am is talking about, plagiarism. Now the question is, UGC has stated to all of us that it is 10 or less than 10 percentage for any similarity by Turnitin or a drill bit or any software that you utilize. But the problem here is it hasn't stated anything about artificial intelligence percentage. When you open Turnitin shows 8 percentage, which is allowed by UGC. Artificial intelligence percentage is 25 percentage. Where is the percentage level that are to be discussed, right? So that becomes a question of morality as for teachers, not for students. Of course, on professional ethics, it is only for us. Where is professional ethic? Have you even, cited it, you have got copy pasted it from artificial intelligence. For example, in Turnitin, if you open artificial intelligence percentage, it shows in two categories. One is AI generated, the other is AI paraphrased. I have taken a concept, I have put it in Quillbot. I paraphrased it, I had put it. It is also shown under AI plagiarism, because you know that is AI platform. And next one is I have taken it from Chat GPT. I have put it as such. So one is AI generated, another is AI paraphrased. Now the question here is, who is regulating it? It is okay for the students to learn to cheat, um, any assignments or anything, because they are not in a very, concerned level, or not all the institutions have framed AI plagiarism percentage level in order to, or policies, frame policies in order to, fix a standard or a percentage in order to assess their marks. That has become a problem here. Likewise, anybody is utilized by NCERT for early grade students, and Ask Sarkar is implemented by CBSE, which is a AI chatbot that answers students and teachers' queries about government schemes. And now it has also been adopted for all the academic purposes. There are a number of AI chatbots and tutors, but the focus should be more on, I mean, nowadays it's also, you also know, it's more on ChatGPT tutor AI. Let's move to the a very important part, which is adaptive learning. This is what I was saying. All of the examples that I have said to you so far are adaptive learning. No change in that. But I just wanted to give you a few examples or few applications for you to utilize very well in the classrooms for very, very engaging learning. Believe me, students will learn it so much because students love to play games. When you ask them to scan it, or like, it is behind my screen, please scan it, let's play game, some you can speak something, and when you start doing it, I guess that the difficult concept which you have thought would be very easy for them to do it in a in a very different thematic ways that AI applications present. Let me just take you, all of the examples are here, but let me take you to only few examples. If it is Slido, Mentimeter, Kahoot, these three are, like you can do your presentations simultaneously. Say, for example, after 3 slides, you can come up with a quiz slide where you say that, okay, you'll have to click the you'll have to type the game code. There will be a code given. That's in the fourth slide because you have already made it. So Slido, Mentimeter, Kahoot does it very well. Quizzes also does it very well. I've been using Quizzes for so long. Quizzes does it very well. That actually makes gives a very engaged learning for the students. Mentimeter is also like Kahoot only, to which, I mean, I've just said it to you. It helps you in preparation of classes also. You also look at classroomscreen.com. This is how you show the presentation along with the engaged learning. The methods that it is up to you. You either give quizzes or you either give a word. Say, for example, you have thought a word called as citizenship. Okay, in Constitution. Now the question is, you just type only the word citizenship there, and when they scan the code, it will allow the students to and enter so many options answers. Okay, so they can say that you ask the question, what is citizenship, whatever comes to your mind, you type it. So there'll be, say, for 20 answers, the citizenship will be surrounded by 20 answers. That will be very useful for them, so that they'll understand the concept very well. And for videos, obviously you have all of these things: YouTube, FreeCam, OBS, Screencast, Matic, etc. Zoom platform, of course, that we are utilizing it right now. Interactive whiteboard, Jamboard is very useful. Jamboard is, it's like you use also the conventional board, the smart screen will be there. Jamboard, it's like, just an interactive learning. It helps in interactive learning, just for 2 minutes a session. And also on my right hand side, you have artificial intelligence tools, which is on Copilot Gemini. It helps very well, that the Copilot Gemini daily tasks you, questions. May I help you? Also, WhatsApp, there is a AI platform, AI application, etc. And I've just said about ChatGPT that has become a part of our life, asking ChatGPT, and that ChatGPT bias is very bad. It gives all irrelevant answers, especially if the teachers don't believe anything from ChatGPT. All, for example, I was checking the cases, all case laws, either the petitioners or the party's name are wrong, or it gives a very, very different and very, it's a very blender citation that it gives. So a law teachers are not supposed to believe so much for case laws on that. Concepts, yes, ground learning is okay. Question well is also very easy. Question well quizzes and all, they already have database on certain concepts. So you can just take the questions out there. Those concepts are just general concepts. So you can just start teaching them. You can just take help of these applications. Let me move to the next one, which is language transition and accessibility. See, when two professors were speaking just before me to inaugurate this session. They were talking about accessibility of AI, pros and cons, and also Dr. Jyoti ma'am was talking about it helps in language transition, etc. That's very true. Say for example, Bhashini, as you could look at the screen, Bhashini. It was introduced by Ministry of Information Technology and Electronics, which has stated it very clearly. It is an AI platform, multilingual translation for education and government services. See, say for example, I don't know Marathi. If I wanted to converse with you, I can utilize. I mean, it is. I cannot. It is not. It is not very old days that I need to get worried about it. I can just take Google and ask Google, please tell me how should I ask this language, this sentence, or this question in Marathi. There are n number of applications, AI applications, human in the loop. That is again very much important. And also it is important that what applications that you choose. And that is Bhashini is utilized. That's government approved fund that is utilized by the students as well, and also for government services. Google's Read Along Bolo application. It helps children to learn in Hindi, Tamil, Marathi, Bengali, and other Indian languages using voice AI. See, that is very utilized for students with any disorders, and there are applications that are that are issued by IITs for autism child, or they can utilize it very well, while they are learning, even during class hours. And Microsoft Immersive Reader, we all would be very much aware about the speech to text and text to speech tools. I open Word document, I give, I ask Microsoft Word to start voice typing it. I give the command, it voice types whatever I say. So voice assistants in regional languages are, as I just said it to you, Alexa and Google are voice assistants in regional languages. So far we have learned how artificial intelligence can be utilized in classrooms in a very engaging manner. And also there are disadvantages, which I have already stated it to you, that are to be utilized, in a very careful way. And now it is very important for all of us. We all know that this has been our headache since we have taken charge as, teacher. One is administrative works. There are any number of applications that have come now for, simplifying the administrative works. Either it might be you're making a lesson plan, making a teaching plan, or trying to make your, say, for example, maintaining attendance and maintaining the feedback forms, maintaining the, students' assessment forms, etc. Or any of the internal assessments, external assessments can be maintained very well through the applications. But I understand there are barriers for all of us trying to get the ERP done. It is very crucial for all of us getting all the digital platform, getting all of the files digitalized. That becomes very crucial. So I did not preferably give any applications over here, because that is not based on individual, that is based on the institution's decision. So I have not given it, but administrative automation is very, very helpful for all of the institutions. Let me now move to the last few slides for all of us to understand very crucial points here. That is, can generative AI generate a new pedagogy or andragogy? All of us, we do andragogy, right? Now, generative AI is nothing but, as I was giving you an example, Turnitin shows two things. One is AI generated, AI paraphrased. AI generated is I go rely everything on ChatGPT. I ask ChatGPT, please give me a presentation for my tomorrow's class on cyber crimes in children. Okay, so it gives me, that's generative AI. I have trained the AI for such purpose, and I also have the capacity to go for ChatGPT Pro version, premium version, and yes, of course, I have now made an can it create in future new pedagogy or andragogy? The answer is, to teachers, it might help you leading your way. but not at all possible for it to take over the entire employment or the teaching purposes, or students cannot also rely entirely on generative AI. It is so um, dangerous for the students and also for teachers to rely entirely on generative AI. Now it's very important for the two, three slides are very important because I'm going to show you the case laws where it has been utilized by Indian judiciary and various other countries, how artificial intelligence been utilized. So, see, the first heading I have given is chat GPTification of the Indian education. Is it true? Are we really utilizing so much chat GPT for in our education system? Answer is yes. Uh, Largely students and teachers for basic understanding, right? So ChatGPTification of Indian education has been done and it has been happening with the help of, as you look on the highlighted part, I mean the laser pointed part, which is predictive AI analytics and artificial intelligence machine learning assistance. So these are all the technical expertise which are being, given by artificial intelligence uh, in various platforms, whereas that helps us achieving more accuracy. I'm just saying more accuracy. I'm not saying it is 100% accurate. Anyways, there should be human in the loop concept that should be understood very well by the teachers at least. Let's go to this very crucial point, thinking and reasoning. May I have any one of you to answer me? What's the difference between thinking and reasoning, and why that this has been utilized in this lecture, artificial intelligence lecture? Thinking is different from reasoning. Can any one of you even give me examples, please? Thinking, reasoning.
I'm not
Will
going
I
to
be
put it
getting
in
any
exact
answers?
words, but thinking,
Yes, ma'am.
it is a process. We can say it cannot have a direction or it cannot have a basis. But when we speak about reasoning, it has to have some base, rational. I think that is the basic difference between thinking and reasoning.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That's really true. The answer is very simple, as you said. I'll give you example. Chat GPT thinks. I ask a Chat GPT, how am I? I can give you an example even. Um, what's the difference between Indian Evidence Act and Bharatiya Sakshi Adhiniyam, right? It thinks based on reputed web links that it searches, and it gives me a tabular column. But you will have to reason it out when you're speaking to students. You can't speak based on what ChatGPT has thought. That is reasoning. That's what I said. Human in the loop concept is very, very essential. Thinking is done by AI. Reasoning is done by us. So reasoning, only with reasoning you can utilize any of the AI platforms, sources that you are utilizing. Now, one second. Yes. Supreme Court has already started using SWAS. You already should be knowing Supreme Court Vidik Anuvad software. It is utilized to translate judicial documents from English to 9 different languages. And you know SUPACE, Supreme Court portal for assistance in court efficiency. It is used for case tracking, legal study, and case mining, etc. Now let us move to the other, before Indian case laws, let me just move to the other countries' cases. Lord Justice Burrs of the Court of Appeal of England and Wales had used that. Yes, I have utilized ChatGPT for the judgment, but he called it very explicitly as jolly useful ChatGPT. It is very also jolly useful utilizing ChatGPT. It is nowhere used to reason any points or facts in the case. Okay, that's very essential for us here. Two countries I've noted it recently. One is China. China has introduced a platform called as Squirrel AI, and China is encouraging its people to utilize education sector specifically to utilize Squirrel AI. And it says that if you're utilizing Squirrel AI platform, we'll give you tax incentives, right? Moving to Finland, you know Finland education system. It says approximately 50% of the schools have adopted the Relay platform, which is AI based learning platform, Relay platform. I have given you the spelling over there. These three are very important cases that India has utilized in all of the cases AI. First, let me move to Muhammad Zakir Hussain, West State of Manipur. As you see, the writ petition, it's a very recent. All three are 2023 cases, and there are a number of cases that are upcoming as well. In this Zakir Hussain case, the Manipur High Court recently revealed that it used ChatGPT to do research in a service matter. See, the court had agreed to it that it had utilized in service matter. It was not for reasoning purposes. It was just a very, very preliminary analysis on, say, for example, what is the pecuniary jurisdiction? How am I supposed to go ahead with this particular service matter? Very basic understanding. So it has agreed to it, but it has stated it is nothing for reasoning purpose. It is just for, simple understanding purposes. Let me move to my left-hand side. Christine Louboutin versus the Shoe Boutique. You guys would have, you faculty would have come across this particular case. See, there was a question. You all know about the shoe company. I mean, the Christian Louboutin shoes, no, which is all red-colored high-heel shoes. So when the company had stated that we are a reputed company, there was a question the court had. The question was, okay, let me check, because the judges are not aware about this particular very reputed brand. So the court had to go check it in the chat GPT and stated that, okay, this is, yes, a reputed brand because that has been shown everywhere online and also in AI platform. They have stated it very clearly that a query was raised on chat GPT or any AI platform for the famous red colored spiked shoes, and the answer was yes. We utilized it for some basic purposes, nothing for judgment purposes. And right hand side, Jaswinder Singh versus State of Punjab. Justice Anup Chitkara had made it very clearly. I would want you to read para 11, which I've given here on the slide. Any reference to chat GPT made here and above is neither an expression of opinion on the merits of the case, nor shall the trial court advert to these comments. This reference is only intended to present a broader picture on bail jurisprudence where cruelty is a factor. They wanted to understand what it is on, simply on bail jurisprudence. So they do not want anything to reason out the judgment very, very clearly. Now, when chat GPTification of education is happening, this is also very, very important. You can allow students, even if you're allowing or not, they are already utilizing AI platforms to a very, very level. Let me move to this so that you will have an understanding. The outcome here is chat GPTification of education process. It saves time. That's one, right? See, instead of asking my 4 or 5 of my colleagues to that, can you please tell me what the safe media law if I'm going to teach, ask question and get answer. Instead, it saves time and gives times. I mean, it provides ground understanding. Now, the question here is, the same thing is happening even with the students. Ground understanding is what we should allow, not for the reasoning method, because they are human beings. They will have to reason it out when they go, teaching, or when they go for litigation, or when they go for any firms. We are the teachers, should teach them how to reason it out from thinking process or from the AI process that they are being, utilizing it right away. So outcome is common for all of us, be teachers or students. Teachers should actually use it, often to check how students are utilizing it, so that we should also make all of us aware about it. So outcome is just common for both of us. Let me just move to challenges. The first one is training to the teachers. See, I have shown you a slide called as adaptive learning. I've shown you more than 25 applications, and I've also spoken so far about more than 35 applications or 40 applications. Now the question here is, are we giving necessary training on AI, utilizing AI platforms? The answer is no, but through FDPs and through various other engaging training sessions and capacity building programs, institutions are doing it. Institutions should do that for the teachers. It's for their students, right? And also for future citizens. And the second one is academic integrity and ethical AI use. As I was mentioning, see, in all the research methodology workshops are all, academic integrity, professional ethics. It is not very professional to utilize all of these things. It is okay to the level of ground understanding, nothing to be utilized as a whole without verifying or without cross checking it. That is not very good for all of us. So ethical AI usage is very essential. Institutions should go ahead with policies in trying to differentiate between ethical AI use and what is unethical AI use. And the third one is coherence, accuracy, and overall reliability should be reduced, actually. As I was mentioning to all of you, overall reliability cannot be done and should not be done. Instead of taking four books and trying to talk with it, have intellectual deliberation with your colleagues or with any of other, judges or any people of other cadres. Instead of that, you can't be relying entirely on ChatGPT or any AI platforms. Moving to the next one, digital divide and cost oriented. This is very essential. See, I have the access to the internet and I know about fundamental right, etc. Okay. I cannot expect the same in the Indian education system throughout India, where all of the students should utilize mobile phone, where all of the students should have internet connection. They should have their own internet mobile package, right? First of all. So that's very much there. Digital divide is very much there because India has poor internet infrastructure that should be very much highlighted here. And it is also cost oriented. Say, for example, if I need to go ahead with Turnitin package for my institution, or if I need to go for drill bit package, that subscription is so costly. So it is all about cost oriented. It is not, tailor made suit for all of us. It is very different for Indian institutions like all of us. And legal, there is no legal framework so far except for few policies, schemes by UGCs, or the cases that we have discussed, or under the constitution. Except that we'll have to come up, it's right time for us to come up with strengthening the frameworks. And cyber security infrastructure should be strengthened. Cyber security is, we all should have first internet connection and internet. Sir, I will answer your question maybe in a minute, sir. Dr. Vijay, sir, I have seen you raise your hand. I'll just answer in a minute, sir. Kindly give me a minute. Thank you. So cyber security infrastructure is very also cost oriented. Which will, necessarily take time for each and every institution to have a very secure internet. The last slide here over is what are all the way forward. I have already discussed with you. There should be regulation for um, I'm talking about a legislation that should come up, but maybe not very recently, because we have just come up with DPDP rules, etc. So it will take time. And is AI injustice or AI injustice has become a question over to all of us when it is utilized in court. Say, for example, see, all of our students are utilizing the same. I can give you a number of cases where advocates have started utilizing chat GPT in the cases, or trying to give citations or any other making case diary, etc. That is very injustice to people. And as highlighted in Puttaswamy judgment, informational privacy is very important, which is part of fundamental right to life. And as you all know for a fact that Information Technology Act 2000 is also in place, where Digital India Bill is might become a legislation or get enacted soon. DPDP Act, that is Data Protection Act, is also in place that we have. It will take for all of us little time to understand, how are we supposed to integrate artificial intelligence with more with data protection or digital India, to be enacted as an act. That is very hard on us. The last thing which I would like to quote is, I'll just take a minute and I'll complete. The last thing which I would like to quote here is, as you see it on my right hand side, which is all the fact, I mean, focal points, I've taken it from European AI Act of 2024. Europe has come up with an artificial intelligence legislation in 2024, which has categorized AI into four areas. One is unacceptable risks, which is, for example, if there is any child pornography being done, or which creates any problem in society, etc. That becomes unacceptable risk with relation to AI. And next is you have high risk. Third is transparency requirement. Fourth is high impact general purpose AI model. Now the point here is EU has come up with a legislation categorizing AI. India should also come up with a legislation categorizing AI, where we conveniently fix AI in Indian education system or sector within any of the required framework, so that we will also be very much keen in noting down ethical usage, plagiarism, everything. Obviously, UGC will also be following it. So it is very high time for all of us to come up with a basic understanding and a legislation on it. And I would like to conclude by saying, whatever it is very essential for us if we are utilizing AI in the education system, be it faculty utilizing it or be it students utilizing it. Human in the loop concept is very essential. You cannot give the keys in the hands of the robots or artificial intelligence to decide. You are supposed to reason it out when you are doing your essential work or day-to-day life. That is very essential. Having said about it, I would like to close my lecture. I would like to answer any of your queries. I had seen two. uh,
Yes,
Dr.
ma'am.
Vijay
This
sir,
is
yes,
Vijay.
please. Is this internet problem from your end? Not
Martika
yet
sir,
hear you.
seems there is internet problem on your side. If it is possible, you can type your question in the chat box.
Question between chat box, I can answer you. Except for Dr. Vijay sir's question, I don't see any other questions on the chat box. If
Actually,
you
there
have
was
any.
problem at our side, and
Okay, ma'am.
for a while, the whole internet got lapsed. It has recovered now. If Markinka sir, if he has joined, he can continue with his question.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, I am using another device. May I ask the question?
Please, sir. I can hear you.
Ma'am, actually, you talked about chat GPTization, and there is a recent news. Basically, the Scandinavian countries, they are very much progressive in educational development, but they are thinking, rather they have decided to digitalize the school going and college going students. So what you see future of such technologies and AI in education in India in this context?
All right, sir. I understood. Maybe there was some distortion from your end. If I have understood your question right, you're saying that they are trying to digitalize the, I guess, if not, all of the attendance and everything in the schools and higher education system.
No,
If
no,
that's the
ma'am.
question,
Scandinavian
can you
countries,
repeat?
recently Sweden, it is thinking that country is thinking to digitalize, means ban
Okay, you're
on the
saying
use of digital
de-digitalize.
devices. Yes.
Understood, sir. Yes. Okay.
Then what will be the relevance of our kind of
Thank you,
that
sir.
is
I
what.
understood your
Thank you.
question, sir. Sir,
Thank
I have also mentioned when I was speaking that we have very poor internet infrastructure. We have digital divide, sir. We don't have net neutrality. I cannot expect anyone from a government school student to recharge the his or her own mobile for 800 to per 3 months. In the same way, like I expected from other student. So India is just growing, and India needs to, it has not come up in a very full-fledged way without digital divide, and trying to go very equal with all of the students or education systems, or irrespective of school education or higher education. It takes time for India to come up full-fledgedly, and there will be one stage where, like how Finland is, as you have said, digitalizing. There will be one stage which for us will be ahead maybe after 2 decades or 3 decades. That might happen, sir. There are countries with small population have come up already with so much of technology, and they are trying to say that no, um, it's gadgets right now. That would be the answer, sir. For us, we have not reached to that level yet, sir, because it took so much time for us. In 2000, Information Technology Act was enacted in 2000, and only after a decade, almost after a decade, 2008, we've got sections for cyber crimes in the IT Act, and it also took 23 years for us to come up with a Data Protection Act, though the Sri Krishna Committee's bill was submitted in 2019 itself. So it takes time for all of us. That would be my personal opinion, sir. Thank you.
Any other queries?
Thank you so much, ma'am, Deepa ma'am, for that incredible, insightful, and thought-provoking session. Your deep understanding of the subject and the way you simplified such a complex topic. I'm sure everyone here will agree that this session was not just an informative, but also inspiring. It has certainly broadened our perspective. Thank you once again. Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Professor Harare sir for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Chan.
Are you heard me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Ma'am.
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I thank to our organizers to giving me this opportunity. It has been such an honor to be part of this FDP program. I would like to extend our esteemed speaker, Dr. Deepa Manikam. Ma'am has discussed very deeply use of artificial intelligence in higher education, pros and cons with concern with legal, technical, and psychological manner. And what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages of AI in higher education? Once again, on behalf of both the institutions, Shri Shivaji Law College, Parbhani, and Swatantra Senani Ramrao Orgokar Law College, Bid. On behalf of this institution, I thanks to our today's speaker, Dr. Deepa Manikam ma'am. Thank you to all.
No, thank you, sir. Ma'am,